there's always the presence of she.
Mm.
And I noticed, again, in re-listening to everything today, all the way back, has always been present. So
Mhm.
can you talk about the influence of feminism and women's culture, what it was about her that really made herself clear on this record?
At this stage in life, probably identify more with being a womanist than a feminist, and
Mhm.
but I really do not recall a period in my life when I was not um, very aware of the divine feminine.
Mhm.
And as you know, and as a lot of people know, I grew up in a devoutly Christian home. I was always a deeply spiritual person. I mean, from as long I don't remember not that.
Mhm.
Um, but I was problematic, like in Sunday school class and vacation Bible school. I just so much of what I knew to be true and knew to be sort of a guiding force in my life was at um, very clear odds with so much of what I was hearing on Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I had parents who were uh, really cool about inviting those conversations,
Mhm.
and who weren't like demanding that my experience look exactly like their own.
Mhm.
But one thing that I remember bothering me, even when I was very young, was what felt to me like a lack of acknowledgement of the divine feminine in an understanding of what God is.
Mhm.
And so much of what seemed to be in the fore of discussions about faith and Christianity and so forth was rooted very much in a patriarchal, often punitive, um, quite often um, terribly human designed notion
Mhm.
of God.
Mhm.
God was jealous. God was
Yes.
enraged. And God was always He.
Yes.
And my experience of spirit never felt like those things. It
Yes.
never felt punishing. It never felt particularly masculine. Um, so I think that's informing it, certainly. Throughout my life, I have been informed by, moved by, educated by um, men, women, non binary individuals. Um, but the thing that has been the stirring in my deepest parts has certainly been something divine and something that has an energy that I would associate with the feminine.
Mhm.
So there's that. And then when I was, I started writing songs when I was 7, and I was influenced by a flurry and a rather eclectic group of songwriters. But the ones who I think were my deepest teachers were people like Joni Mitchell and Ricky Lee Jones and Joan Armatrading. And I wasn't seeking them out because they were women. I just was deeply moved by them because they were brilliant.
Mhm.
And they went below the surface and they stirred some part of me that was sleeping. And
Yes.
so there's that. And then in college, I became really fascinated by what was happening in women's music and
Yeah.
um, the women's movement. And I started reading Audre Lorde, and I was obsessed with Sweet Honey in the Rock and Farron and that whole group. So I this work was not about me deliberately trying to invoke that energy. I
Mhm.
just think it's very much a part of my
Mhm.
journey. I think it's very much a part of my sensibility.